Hi, so my name's Tom Sizmur. I'm a lecturer in environmental science at the University of Reading. And this project is also in collaboration with Michael Watts, who's head of inorganic geochemistry at the British Geological Survey. What the project aims to do is to better predict or risk assess the effect that flooding or increased flooding in the future has on potentially toxic metals or elements in floodplain soils. So as we all know, the climate is changing, and in the UK in particular, what's going to happen in the future is we'll have an increase in the frequency and the severity of flooding events. And that means that there'll be soils that have never previously been inundated or flooded that will start to become flooded, and there'll also be some soils on floodplains that will be flooded more frequently and for a longer duration. Now, it also happens that most of our urban settlements, our cities and our towns, are also situated on floodplain soils. And that means that all of the pollution, the potentially toxic elements that we produce and we emit into the environment are often deposited on floodplain soils. That's either because industry or urban settlements are situated on those floodplains, or because those elements are deposited further downstream onto the floodplain as sediment is pushed over the riverbanks. What this means is that the floodplain soils that will become increasingly flooded for longer periods of time are contaminated with these potentially toxic elements, and we don't know what impact these changing environments will have on the mobility of those elements. So what the PhD aims to do is to go to some of these floodplain soils. You'll take samples and monitor the mobility of potentially toxic elements before, during and after a real flooding event, and we'll also collect some cores. We'll take those back to the laboratory and then we'll subject them to controlled conditions where we can manipulate the frequency and the duration of flooding events. We'll also do some targeted experiments, and this is where you'll be able to explore the mechanisms for how these flooding events are going to impact on the mobility of the metals. So this will involve looking at the redox conditions that occur during flooding events, and also looking at the destabilisation of soil aggregates as the soils become inundated with water. So the kind of student that we're looking to conduct this project is someone with a background in environmental science or chemistry or physical geography or earth science. And so if you would like more information on the project, then please just take a look at the website or drop me an email.